Lesson 4. The Wheel of Cyclone. Let's read the following excerpt from Amitabh Ghosh's The Great Derangement and answer the questions. On the afternoon of March 17, 1978, the weather took an old turn in North Delhi. Mid-March is usually a nice time of year in that part of India. The chill of winter is gone and the blazing heat of summer is yet to come. The sky is clear and monsoon is far away. But that day dark clouds appeared suddenly and there were squalls of rain. Then followed an even bigger surprise. A hailstorm. I was then studying for an MA at Delhi University while also working as a part-time journalist. When the hailstorm broke, I was in a library. I had planned to stay late, but the unseasonal weather led to a change of mind and one decided to leave. I was on my way back to my room when, on an impulse, I changed direction and dropped in on a friend. But the weather continued to worsen as we were chatting, so after a few minutes, I decided to head straight back by a route that I rarely had occasion to take. I had just passed a busy intersection called Maurice Nagar when I heard a rumbling sound somewhere above. Glancing over my shoulder, I saw a gray, tube-like extrusion forming on the underside of a dark cloud. It grew rapidly as I watched, and then all of a sudden it turned and came whiplashing down to earth, heading in my direction. Across the street lay a large administrative building. I sprinted over and toward what seemed to be an entrance. But the glass-fronted doors were and a small crowd stood huddled outside. In the shelter of an overhang was no room for me there, so I ran around to the front of the building's small balcony. I jumped over the parapet and crouched on the floor. The noise quickly rose to a frenzied pitch, and the wind began to tug fiercely my clothes. Stealing a glance over the parapet, I saw, to my astonishment, my clothing's had been darkened by a thaw and in the glow that was shining down from above. I saw an extraordinary panoply glutz flying past bicycles, scooters, lampposts, sheets of corrugated iron, even entire tea stalls. In that instant, gravity itself seemed to have been transformed into a wheel spinning upon the fingertip of some unknown power. I buried my head in my arms and lay still. Moments later the noise died down and was replaced by an eerie silence. When at last I climbed out of the balcony, I was confronted by a scene of devastation such as I had never before beheld. Buses lay overturned. Scooters sat perched on treetops. Walls had been ripped out of buildings, exposing interiors in which ceiling fans had been twisted into tulip-like spirals. The place where I had first thought to take shelter, the glass-fronted doorway, had been reduced to a jumble of jagged debris. The panes had shattered and many people had been wounded by the shards. I realized that I too would have been among the injured had I remained there. I walked away in a daze. Long afterward, I am not sure exactly when or where, I hunted down the Times of India's New Delhi edition of March 18th. I still have the photocopies I made of it. 30 dead, says the banner headline. 700 hurt as cyclone hits North Delhi. Abridged. To earth, heading in my direction.